Right, this is just a quick reminder of what equivalent fractions are. I'm using the program which divides a pizza into different parts to represent the fractions. The top one is set up to show a quarter, 1 out of 4. In other words, one segment is shaded out of 4 segments in the whole of the pizza. And I've got exactly the same thing set up at the bottom. I'm going to lock the bottom one and move up to the next equivalent fraction. It changes to 2 out of 8. These are called equivalent fractions because you'll see that the red area that's shaded is identical in both of them, so they both represent actually the same quantity. But I've now can get to the bottom fraction by multiplying both the numbers in the top fraction by 2. We could say it's in second gear if you like. So 1 times 2 is 2, 4 times 2 is 8. You can see what's happened is that every quarter has been subdivided into 2 parts now, so everything's kind of doubled. Let's move up to the third gear equivalent fraction, and that gives us 3 out of 12. Again, we're just multiplying both the numbers by 3 in this case. 1 times 3 is 3, 4 times 3 is 12. 3 out of 12. The next one up, 4 out of 16. The next one up, well, that would be 5th gear, wouldn't it? So we'd expect the next one to be 5 times 1 is 5 at the top. 4 times 5 is 20 at the bottom. So we'd expect it to be 5 out of 20. And yes, it is. 6th gear, 1 times 6 is 6. 4 times 6 is 24. 6 out of 24. Yes, that's right. And you can see that you can just carry on and on and on getting equivalent fractions. Just the numbers get higher and higher each time. There's no limit to the number of times you can keep on subdividing a fraction. If I just kind of hold it down, you see that the segments of the pizza get very small, but the number of segments gets equivalently larger to make up the quarter that it's equivalent to. Okay, so how do we check if 2 fractions are actually equivalent or not? Well, let's suppose you've got 2 fractions. You're given 10 25ths and you're given 4 tenths, and you're asked, are these equivalent fractions? Well, you've got to look for numbers that you can divide into both the top and the bottom. So if we look at this one, what number goes into both 10 and 25? Well, 5 goes into both, doesn't it? So how many 5s are there in 10? 2 5s are 10. How many 5s are there in 25? 5 5s are 25. So 10 25ths is actually equivalent to 2 fifths if we look at it being in 5th gear. Let's look at 4 tenths, the other number we were asked to work with. What number goes into both 4 and in 10? Well, they're both even numbers, so 2 must go into both of them. So if we divide by 2, how many 2's are there in 4? 2 2's are 4. How many 2's are there in 10? 5 2's are 10. So that's how we can tell that they're both actually the same, or they're both equivalent fractions, because they both cancel down to 2 fifths. So is 10 25ths equivalent to 4 tenths? Yes.